It began with what I thought would be just another casual conversation, but it turned into one of the most eye-opening discussions I've had about personal health. I was sitting across from Dr. Emma Harris, a soft-spoken yet commanding presence in the room. With over 30 years of experience in geriatric medicine, Dr. Harris has worked closely with aging patients through all stages of life, witnessing not just the physical changes of aging, but the subtle habits that either preserve health or quietly erode it over time. She leaned in slightly, as if about to share a secret that most people overlook. You know, she said, most seniors are very committed to their hygiene routines. They shower daily, they brush their teeth, they might even floss religiously. But the problem is, they stop there. I was intrigued. There are parts of the body, she continued, that we barely think about, let alone clean properly. And yet, these neglected areas are some of the most important when it comes to long-term health, immunity, and even emotional well-being. As she spoke, I realized how rarely we're taught to care for anything beyond the obvious. From childhood, we're taught to brush, bathe, and maybe clip our nails. But who ever told us to clean our belly button or pay attention to the circulation in our feet? These simple, overlooked actions, Dr. Harris explained, can either help protect the body as it ages or open the door to chronic issues like infection, inflammation, imbalance, and fatigue. What struck me wasn't just the medical perspective. It was how practical and empowering her advice was. These weren't complicated, expensive solutions. They were tiny adjustments in our daily routine, just a few extra minutes of care that could drastically improve the way we feel, move, and function. She described it beautifully. It's not just about being clean. It's about creating the conditions for your body to thrive. Her words stayed with me long after our conversation ended. They reminded me that caring for our health isn't always about big interventions or major changes. Sometimes it's the smallest areas we ignore that carry the biggest consequences. Hygiene is often treated as a checklist, something we do almost on autopilot. Shower? Check. Teeth brushed? Check. Maybe a dab of deodorant or moisturizer and we're out the door. But what if this surface-level approach is quietly robbing us of better health, stronger immunity, and even longer life? That's the revelation I had while speaking with Dr. Emma Harris, a leading geriatric specialist. She explained that while most people are diligent about the obvious aspects of personal care, they tend to overlook the smaller, hidden parts of the body, the areas that don't get much attention but have an outsized impact on our internal systems. These are the places where bacteria collect, where circulation can stagnate, where the skin may quietly break down, and where toxins may linger. And the consequences? They're often invisible at first. Subtle changes in energy, mood, or balance that are easy to blame on just getting older. But aging, Dr. Harris insisted, doesn't have to come with decline. In fact, it can be a time of renewal and vitality, if we know where to focus. And it turns out that some of the most powerful changes we can make start with the smallest actions in the most ignored places. Take the skin under the arms, for example. It's not just a sweat zone, it's part of the body's lymphatic drainage system, essential for detoxification. Or consider the soles of the feet. They're a hub for nerve endings and a foundation for balance and movement, yet many people don't clean or care for them properly. Even something as simple as the buildup in the belly button or the coating on your tongue can gradually compromise immune defenses, affect how well you digest food, or create chronic low-grade inflammation. The beauty of addressing these areas is in the simplicity. You don't need fancy products or complicated routines. Just a few extra minutes of mindful care, daily, consistently, can help you reclaim energy, improve circulation, reduce inflammation, and even sleep better. It's like tending to a garden. The smaller details, watering the corners, trimming back what's hidden, are what keep the whole ecosystem thriving. We often think of health improvements as requiring massive overhauls, new diets, medications, or exercise plans. But in truth, the body responds powerfully to small, consistent investments in care. When you begin giving attention to the often forgotten areas, those little blind spots in your daily hygiene, you might be amazed by how much lighter, cleaner, and more balanced you feel. Proper hygiene isn't just about being clean. It's about being connected to your body, to your health, and to the quiet signals that tell you something's off. It's a form of awareness, a daily act of listening and responding with care. And the parts we often ignore, they're not afterthoughts. They're gateways to better health, vitality, and longevity. Of all the parts of the body we clean each day, the tongue is one of the most overlooked, and yet it holds a far more important role than most people realize. Nestled quietly inside the mouth, it does more than just help us speak or taste food. It's a complex ecosystem, teeming with life, constantly interacting with everything we eat, drink, and breathe. And when left uncleaned, it can become a breeding ground for problems that reach far beyond the mouth. Many people assume that brushing their teeth is enough to maintain oral hygiene, but the truth is that the surface of the tongue traps bacteria, food particles, dead cells, and toxins throughout the day. When this buildup isn't properly removed, it forms a thin, sticky film, what you might notice as a white or yellow coating. This layer not only dulls your sense of taste, but also contributes significantly to bad breath, tooth decay, and inflammation inside the mouth. Even more concerning, these harmful bacteria can eventually make their way into the bloodstream, potentially affecting your heart and immune system. So, how can you care for your tongue the right way? The solution is refreshingly simple. Just like wiping down a kitchen counter after cooking, your tongue needs a gentle daily cleanse. First thing in the morning, before breakfast, is the best time to do it. You can use a tongue scraper, which is designed specifically for this task, or your toothbrush if that's what you have on hand. Stand in front of a mirror, stick your tongue out, and gently scrape from the back toward the front in smooth, even strokes. Do this 3 to 4 times, then rinse thoroughly. At night, repeat the process, but with a bit more gentleness, especially if you have a sensitive gag reflex. If you're new to tongue cleaning, don't be discouraged if it feels awkward at first. You can start by scraping just the middle section of the tongue and gradually move further back as your comfort increases. For many people, this becomes a satisfying ritual, one that leaves their mouth feeling cleaner and more refreshed than brushing alone ever did. The benefits of this small habit can be surprisingly powerful. Not only will you enjoy fresher breath and a cleaner mouth, but your sense of taste may sharpen, helping you enjoy your meals more fully. And there's a ripple effect too. By reducing the bacterial load in your mouth, you're giving your entire body a cleaner foundation to build on. This one simple act, taking just a few minutes each day, can dramatically elevate your oral hygiene and support broader systemic health. And once it becomes part of your daily routine, you'll likely wonder how you ever lived without it. Our feet are among the hardest working parts of our entire body, yet they're also some of the most neglected. Every single day they carry us, through long hours, countless steps, and the weight of our full body. They are our literal foundation, the first point of contact with the ground, and the last thing we think about when it comes to self-care. But ignoring our feet can slowly chip away at our comfort, mobility, and even safety, especially as we grow older. Dr. Emma Harris often describes the feet as a mirror of our overall health. And it's true, poor circulation, nerve dysfunction, and chronic illness often first show up in our feet, through numbness, swelling, coldness, discoloration, or pain. For seniors, the risks grow even higher. Foot problems in older adults are often overlooked until they become serious, leading to loss of balance, falls, fungal infections, ulcers, or mobility issues that can limit independence. That's why daily foot hygiene isn't just a matter of cleanliness, it's a matter of preservation. It's about giving these overlooked heroes the care and attention they deserve, so they can keep doing what they do best: support you, ground you, and move you forward. When you step into the shower, don't just let the water run over your feet and call it a day. Use warm water and a mild soap, and take a moment to actually clean every surface of your foot. Pay close attention to the arches, heels, and especially between the toes, where moisture, bacteria, and dead skin cells tend to accumulate. That area between the toes is often a hidden zone for fungal growth, places where infections like athlete's foot silently thrive if left undisturbed. Use a soft cloth or your hands to gently massage these areas while washing, not just for cleanliness, but also to stimulate circulation. This simple act can improve blood flow, reduce swelling, and even awaken tired, achy feet. Once your feet are clean, drying them completely is essential. Most people towel off quickly and move on, But lingering moisture, especially between the toes, is a major contributor to fungal growth and skin irritation. Use a clean, dry towel to gently pat your feet dry, making sure to get into all the creases. You can even use a cotton swab or a corner of the towel to reach narrow spaces between toes. Think of this like drying fine glassware. You wouldn't leave water spots or moisture behind in a valuable item. Your feet deserve the same attention. Once your skin is dry, the next step is to nourish and protect it. Apply a gentle, non-greasy moisturizer to the tops and soles of your feet, especially around the heels and balls where the skin tends to crack or thicken. These areas bear the most pressure and often become rough over time. Be cautious not to apply lotion between the toes. This area needs to stay dry. Excess moisture in those tight spaces can trap bacteria and create the perfect breeding ground for infection. Instead, focus your care where the skin is exposed and more prone to dryness. If you struggle with thick calluses or flaky skin, consider gently exfoliating once or twice a week using a pumice stone, but never over-scrub. Healthy foot care is all about gentleness and consistency, not aggression. The benefits of daily foot hygiene reach far beyond just having nice-looking feet. Healthy feet are crucial for balance, stability, and freedom of movement. Even small improvements in foot comfort can drastically change how confidently you walk, how long you can stand, and how you feel throughout the day. For older adults, this kind of care can literally mean the difference between staying active and independent, or becoming prone to accidents, discomfort, and reduced quality of life. Consistent care can also help catch early warning signs of bigger issues, like circulation problems, nerve damage, or skin breakdown, before they become serious. Checking in with your feet each day becomes a silent check-in with your whole body. Your armpits might not seem like a big deal. They're small, often hidden, and most people don't give them a second thought beyond applying deodorant in the morning. But these small hollows beneath your arms are far more than sweat zones. They're one of the most important, yet underestimated gateways to your body's internal balance. And when neglected, they can silently sabotage your comfort, your skin health, and even your immune system. Beneath the surface of each underarm lies a dense cluster of lymph nodes, tiny, powerful filters that help flush out toxins, trap harmful bacteria, and support your body's defense system. This network is part of your lymphatic system, a fluid-based highway responsible for clearing waste from tissues and distributing immune cells where they're needed most. When your armpits become congested with sweat, dead skin, synthetic product buildup, or bacteria, that vital flow can slow down, putting extra strain on your body's ability to detox naturally. And because the skin in this area is thin, delicate, and prone to sensitivity, it's incredibly easy for irritation to develop. If you've ever dealt with persistent body odor, itchy rashes, painful ingrown hairs, or mysterious lumps under your arms, chances are your underarm hygiene routine could use a little more love. Start by approaching your armpits the same way you might care for sensitive facial skin. In the shower, use warm, not hot water and a soft, clean washcloth or natural sponge. Apply a gentle, unscented soap, free from harsh sulfates or artificial fragrances, and cleanse in slow, circular motions, lifting your arm high to reach every crease and fold. Be thorough but gentle. Don't scrub harshly, as this can cause micro tears in the skin, disrupt its natural barrier, or inflame hair follicles. Instead, aim to dissolve and lift away sweat residue, bacteria, old deodorant, and excess oil that may have built up throughout the day. Rinse thoroughly, making sure to wash away all soap or cleanser residue, because even gentle products can cause irritation if left behind. Then, after stepping out of the shower, use a clean, dry towel to pat your underarms dry. Never rub vigorously. The skin here is prone to chafing and should be handled with care. Allow a minute or two for your armpits to fully air dry before applying deodorant or antiperspirant. This small pause in your routine, allowing your skin to breathe before applying product, can make a huge difference. It reduces the chance of clogged pores, allows moisture to evaporate, and supports the natural temperature regulation and detox process happening just below the surface. If your current deodorant stings, leaves your skin discolored, or causes breakouts, it may be time to rethink what you're using. Many conventional products contain aluminum compounds, alcohol, synthetic fragrances, and parabens, all of which can irritate the underarm area or interfere with the skin's natural flora. Consider switching to a fragrance-free, non-comedogenic, or natural deodorant, especially if you've experienced ongoing discomfort. Some people even benefit from taking an occasional product break, allowing the skin to reset and restore its balance naturally. You might be surprised. A properly cleaned and rested armpit often smells less than one caked in layers of commercial product. When you consistently clean and care for your armpits the right way, the rewards go far beyond fresh scent. You may notice smoother, softer skin, less itching, redness, or bumps, fewer clogged pores and ingrown hairs, a lighter, cleaner feeling throughout the day, less dependence on harsh deodorants, reduced swelling or tenderness in lymph nodes, better circulation, and a subtle natural energy boost. Some people even report that their overall body odor becomes milder because regular intentional cleaning helps remove the bacteria and buildup that cause persistent odor in the first place. And perhaps most importantly, giving extra care to your armpits means supporting your body's built-in detox system. When lymph can flow freely, your immune system can respond more effectively. It's not just a matter of grooming, it's a quiet act of health maintenance that pays off in ways you can feel. Every breath you take, whether shallow or deep, conscious or automatic, passes through one of your body's most powerful yet underappreciated systems of protection, your nose. Far from being just a passageway for air, the nose acts as your body's natural air filter, trapping dust, pollutants, bacteria, and allergens before they have a chance to reach your lungs. It's your built-in purification system, operating 24/7, quietly, invisibly, and often without thanks. But like any filter, it needs maintenance. When your nasal passages become clogged, dry, or irritated, the body's entire rhythm can be thrown off. You may notice it as congestion, sinus pressure, sneezing fits, poor sleep, or labored breathing. Over time, poor nasal hygiene can make allergies worse, leave you feeling fatigued, and contribute to a general sense of fogginess or low energy. And for many people, especially as they age, nasal dryness or buildup becomes a daily frustration, not just a seasonal one. Caring for your nose doesn't require medication or complex procedures. In fact, the best methods are simple, soothing, and surprisingly effective. Start with a gentle rinse, using warm water or a saline solution to flush out irritants. You can find ready-made saline sprays at any drugstore or make your own at home with distilled water and salt. If you need a deeper cleanse, especially during allergy season or after a dusty day, consider using a neti pot, a small teapot-shaped device that allows you to pour a saline solution through one nostril and out the other. It may sound strange, but many people find it refreshing and instantly relieving, like giving your sinuses a mini spa day. When blowing your nose, do it gently. Avoid forcefully blowing both nostrils at once, which can actually push mucus deeper into the sinuses or damage sensitive tissues. Instead, gently blow one nostril at a time into a soft tissue, then wash your hands to prevent spreading germs. For those who suffer from nasal dryness, common in the winter or in air-conditioned spaces, a dab of natural oil such as coconut or vitamin E, applied carefully with a cotton swab, can keep the inside of the nose moist, comfortable, and irritation-free. Another way to support healthy nasal passages is through steam therapy. Taking a warm shower and inhaling the steam can loosen mucus and open airways naturally. You can also create your own steam tent by filling a bowl with hot water, placing a towel over your head, and inhaling deeply. Add a few drops of eucalyptus or peppermint essential oil to elevate the experience. These oils are known for their decongestant and anti-inflammatory properties. Many people are surprised at how quickly their breathing improves with these simple habits. Not only does it become easier to breathe, but sleep becomes more restful, sinus pressure lessens, and the frequency of allergy or cold symptoms often drops significantly. Once your nose is properly cared for, everything feels lighter. Your head clears, your breaths are deeper, more satisfying. You may find you sleep more soundly, wake up less congested, and feel more alert throughout the day. For those who have struggled with frequent sinus headaches, post-nasal drip, or even snoring, regular nasal hygiene can offer real relief, no prescriptions needed. The belly button is one of those parts of the body we rarely think about. It's a small, subtle indentation, often hidden by clothing, easily overlooked during shower time, and typically ignored unless something feels wrong. But just because it's not visible or high maintenance doesn't mean it isn't important. In fact, this tiny area can be a surprisingly common source of discomfort, unpleasant odor, and even infection, especially if it's not cleaned properly and regularly. What makes the navel unique is its shape and structure. It's a closed-off pocket of skin, with folds and creases that are prone to trapping sweat, oils, dead skin cells, lint from clothing, and even soap residue. And because it doesn't get much airflow or sunlight, it creates an ideal environment for bacteria and fungi to thrive. Over time, without regular cleaning, the buildup inside can become a breeding ground for odor-causing germs, skin irritation, or in some cases, actual infections that go unnoticed until they become uncomfortable. Many people don't realize how much can accumulate in the belly button, simply because it's out of sight. It's not uncommon for the skin inside or around the navel to feel itchy, sensitive, or give off a faint musty odor, and most people don't connect those symptoms with hygiene. For individuals with deeper navels, excess body weight, diabetes, or compromised immune systems, the belly button can become especially vulnerable to chronic moisture retention and microbial imbalance, which increases the risk of irritation, yeast overgrowth, and delayed healing if inflammation starts. Caring for your navel doesn't require any complicated routine, but it does require intention and gentleness. During your regular shower or bathing time, take a moment to clean your belly button, just as you would any other part of your body. Use a soft washcloth soaked in warm water and a mild, fragrance-free soap, especially one that's designed for sensitive skin. Gently clean the inside of your belly button by wrapping the cloth around your index finger and slowly wiping in small circular motions. If your belly button is deeper or has tighter folds, consider using a cotton swab dipped in warm, soapy water to reach farther in. But be extremely gentle. Avoid pushing too deep or using anything sharp. You're not trying to scrub. It's more like softly wiping a delicate antique dish. Think precision, not pressure. Once you've cleaned the area, rinse with clean, warm water to remove any soap residue that may linger, then pat it dry thoroughly using a clean towel. This step is essential. Moisture left behind in this closed, low airflow area can quickly lead to bacterial or fungal growth. If needed, use a dry cotton swab to absorb any hidden moisture in the crevices, especially after showering or sweating. For people prone to extra sweating or who live in humid environments, it may help to gently dust the area with a natural, talc-free powder to absorb excess moisture throughout the day. But only do this if the area is already dry and healthy. Never apply powders to irritated or open skin. If you have a navel piercing, the need for proper hygiene becomes even more important. Even years after healing, piercings can still trap bacteria and residue around the jewelry. Use a soft cotton swab with saline or mild soap to clean around and under the jewelry daily, then dry the area completely. Metal tends to trap moisture and sweat against the skin, which can lead to localized irritation, redness, or discharge if not cared for attentively. Never twist or force the jewelry during cleaning, and if you notice persistent irritation or signs of infection, like swelling, pain, or discharge, it's best to stop using products and consult a healthcare provider. Once you begin cleaning your belly button consistently, you'll likely notice some subtle but satisfying changes. That faint body odor you could never quite pinpoint? Gone. The random itching near your waistline after a hot day? Disappeared. The skin around your midsection may start to feel fresher, smoother, and less prone to redness or irritation. You'll feel cleaner, not just on the surface, but in a deeper, more complete way. Taking care of your belly button might feel like a small act, but the payoff is very real. It's a reminder that every inch of your body matters, even the ones you don't see in the mirror. And when you treat even the smallest parts of yourself with care, you'll feel the difference in your comfort, your confidence, and your connection to your body. It's easy to think that better health only comes through major lifestyle changes, strict diets, intensive workouts, or complicated routines. But what often gets overlooked is the incredible power of tiny, consistent acts, the kind that take no more than a few minutes each day, but when done regularly, begin to shift your entire relationship with your body, quietly, gently, and profoundly. We've just walked through 5 of the most commonly ignored areas of the body: the tongue, feet, underarms, nose, and belly button. At first glance, they might not seem like they hold much importance. But when you begin to care for them, truly and intentionally, you quickly realize just how much they influence your daily comfort, your energy, your immune strength, your sleep, and even your emotional clarity. These are the areas that often go unnoticed until something goes wrong: bad breath that won't go away, feet that ache or wobble, underarms that feel irritated, a nose that can't breathe clearly, or a belly button that becomes itchy or emits an unfamiliar smell. But these are not just hygiene concerns. They are signals, quiet messages from your body, asking to be seen, cleaned, respected, and cared for. And the best part? The solutions are simple, accessible, and completely within your control. You don't need fancy tools or expensive products. You don't need hours of free time. What you need is just a shift in awareness, a willingness to honor the parts of yourself that don't always get attention, even though they're working hard for you every single day. So here's your invitation. Pick one, just one. Maybe you want to start cleaning your tongue every morning before coffee. Maybe today is the day you give your feet the care they've been silently asking for. Maybe you'll finally stop ignoring that subtle itch in your underarm and treat it with kindness instead of chemicals. Or maybe it's your nose, your breathing, your sleep, your sense of freshness that needs tending. Even your belly button, small, tucked away, and forgotten, deserves a few seconds of thoughtful attention. You don't have to do everything at once. You don't need a checklist. Just begin with one small gesture. Let it become a ritual. And over time, as that one habit becomes second nature, you'll begin to notice the difference in how your body feels, in how your mind settles, and in how deeply you begin to trust your ability to take care of yourself. These micro moments of care are not just for hygiene. They are a form of daily self-respect. They're a reminder that your body is worthy of attention not just when it's in pain or discomfort, but every day in quiet, preventative ways. It's an act of grounding, of returning to your body with presence, of giving thanks for the parts of yourself that carry you through life, even when you're not looking. And if this message resonates with you, if something inside you says, "Yes, I've been meaning to take better care of myself," then consider sharing it with someone you love: a parent, a grandparent, a friend who's been feeling tired, foggy, or out of touch with their body. This isn't just about personal wellness. It's about building a culture of care, one gentle act at a time. So often, we rush through the day, tending to obligations, responsibilities, and everyone else's needs, forgetting that our body quietly asks for care too. Not dramatic care, not overwhelming change, but gentle, daily attention. These 5 small areas may not demand your focus, but they reward it. In caring for what's often overlooked, you reconnect with yourself in the most honest, grounding way. Because in the end, it's not about being perfect. It's about being present with your breath, your balance, your skin, your senses. It's about choosing each day to honor the body that carries you forward, one quiet moment of care at a time.